But this was a great month. This has been a great historic event for the Grammys, man. Man, Black History Month, man. What better way to for Beyonce to win to become the first Black artist to win a country album, and her response was just like everyone else's. It is huge. And Kendrick, nothing else to say. After all, that's why he is performing in this year's Super Bowl. Even
Mhm.
though a lot of people in New Orleans, and I would love to see Wayne perform, but you can't go wrong with Kendrick after the year he had in 2024 with Not Like Us. Champ, your thoughts?
Oh man, let's not forget about the I can't pronounce her name to save my life.
Oh,
Let's
yes,
not,
for the best rap album.
yes, let's not forget about her too. Let's not forget about her. It would be an injustice to leave her out.
Oh,
So
talking
big
about
up.
Doshi? Talking about
Yeah,
Doshi?
Doshi.
Yes,
Yes. Yes, I can't pronounce my name. I got my degree in computers, not spelling. So
especially her speech.
yes. So yes. Doshi, Beyonce, Kendrick. Rule the night, baby. Yes. I love it. Gotta love black excellence, man. Hey, gotta love black excellence, man. So I'm proud of Kendrick. Beyonce, biggest icon in modern day times. One of the biggest icons, I would say. So I put her right. I can't put her past Michael and Prince, but I can put her right up there with because that's how big she is. When her tickets go on sale, they gonna sell out. So she's that big of an icon. I mean, in every sense of the word. And for her to, it's one thing to win in your genre. Like I'll use this as an example. It's one thing for me to win a debate in sports because that's my forte. I've been doing it for years. But if you throw me into a debate on, let's say, quantum physics, and I win that, that's monumental because nobody it really expects that. And not to mention with all of the criticisms that she received of, well, she doesn't embed herself in country music. Hell, there's been a lot of rappers that wasn't necessarily embedded in hip hop, yet they won awards. Look at Post Malone. Look at some of those. Look at Hannah Montana. They sold albums in hip hop. It wasn't necessarily hip hop. So let's stop it. Music is music. And if it's good music, let it play. If it's not, turn it off. Kendrick. What can you say, man? Kendrick is the hottest right now. But the reason how you say her name again? Doshi?
Dochi.
Dochi.
Mm-hmm.
She is the modern day version. She is a mixture of, I will say, India Ari, and Lauryn Hill.
I like that.
She is a mixture of India Ari and Lauryn Hill because I was listening to some of her music and it just sounds so conscious and it makes you think just like those two artists. So big ups to her, man, because I mean, she's talented and her wordplay is great. She's not, and I'm trying to put this in a kind way because I don't want to discredit anybody because Lord knows I love the other artists, Lotto and Meg Thee Stallion, but she's doing it different in a different day and age. She's not talking about the usual things. In fact, she's talking about the opposite of that and what to do opposite of that. That's how come I compared her. If you combine India Ari and Lauryn Hill together, you would get Doshi because she's talking about different things than that. She's not talking about all of the other stuff. And like I said, no disrespect to Meg and Lotto because I am a big fan of both of them. But it's nice to have that breath of fresh air because you need all of them. Just like back in the day, we needed Little Kim and Foxy Brown, but we needed somebody to go outside of that like an India Arie and a Lauryn Hill. Doshi is what they were back then. That's what she is now. And that's why I mentioned her a lot, because for Beyonce to win the award, yes, she's outside of her genre, her normal genre, but at the end of the day, she's an icon. Kendrick Lamar to win an award, yes, he's the hottest thing smoking right about now, but he's been put in GOAT conversation for almost last couple of years now. For her to win the award and to do it differently than her peers are doing it, that's what you call spectacular. And I'm glad that the conscious rap is kind of, especially on the women's side of it, is making a comeback with Doshi. Because I like her style, man. That young lady is very, very talented, and she beautiful as hell too, man. She's beautiful as hell. Love her hair. So, big ups to her, man.
BRF.
Not Like Us is officially the greatest diss track in the history of hip hop. It's officially the greatest diss track in the history of hip hop. This man took a diss track to the hip hop. This man took a diss track to the Grammys and won 5 of them things. Won 5
With a
with
Canadian
a
suit.
in a Canadian tuxedo on top of that. In a Canadian tuxedo on top of that. Drake don't go to the Grammys for at least about 5 years. Just don't go. Stay home. Don't when the Grammys come around, just don't go. Don't go. But to get the kidding out the way, great night for Kendrick. I think he kind of really cemented his legacy as one of the greatest voices in the history of hip hop. Just off of one song, but Kendrick's been doing this for like a decade. He's been doing this, like whether it's Good Kid, Mad City, whether it's the Damn album, whether it's the Mr. Morale album, like it doesn't matter. Kendrick's been doing this, and I'm loving the fact that he's getting this recognition, winning the Grammys, just being just establishing himself as one of the greatest voices in the history of the genre. I love seeing it because I remember his first song when I first heard it. His first song that I heard that blew up was The Recipe, him and Dre. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, I like him. He's about that. He's like that. And seeing him now is just like I'm not surprised because I just felt he had it. So I'm not surprised he's doing this. So shout out to Kendrick. Like I said, Not Like Us is the greatest diss track in the history of hip hop, and the Grammys kind of solidified it with him winning 5 awards. Beyonce, I want somebody to tell me why Beyonce isn't country without naming the obvious, and don't worry, I'll wait on that. So just shout out to her for experimenting in an entire new genre and stepping out, but continually establishing her voice and her talent, being what it is, and just winning country album of the year. Like, what more can there be said about Beyonce that hasn't already been said? She's one of the greatest entertainers in the history of music. I mean, like she's not the greatest of all time. For me, that's still Michael Jackson. And like I said, yeah, like Champ said, Prince is definitely still up there. Um, but it's Beyonce kind of making a claim to that. She is, and we can't deny it anymore because she's one of the, like I said, her concerts are always, she shows up and shows out for all of her concerts. You expect an A+ performance when she's on stage. But the voice, I personally think Beyonce has one of the most underrated voices in the history of music. I don't think her voice gets enough credit for how good of a singer she is. I don't think she gets enough credit that she actually deserves for just actually being able to sing and being
I
able
think
to
it's her
sing.
songwriting. I think it's the songwriting.
Yeah, just like she just yeah, but it's just like her voice is just she's got one of the greatest voices, and it's just when I mean, you know what I'm saying? We practically like, we practically seen her grow up from like the beginning of Destiny's Child up to this point, becoming what and seeing where she is right now. And just like, I mean, she kind of she deserves the success because she's busted her butt since day one to get here. And just I mean, she's like she's just becoming the ultimate, like, if you want to call her a triple threat, she's becoming like one of the ultimate triple threats because like her singing and her ability to dance, and she's pretty good actress in her own right too. You can't say some of the movies she's been in we haven't liked, because I
Obsessed.
loved Obsessed with her and
Her and
Idris
Idris
Elba. I
Elba.
loved that movie. And then the range with Goldmember, the Austin Powers movie. I mean, and
Mike
Dreamgirls.
Myers.
I
Yeah.
I love, and yeah, like Gold, yeah, her range in Goldmember, and then Dreamgirls was one of my favorite movies. I love Dreamgirls. So it's just she's just we got to give Beyonce her flowers while she's still young and she's still performing at a high level. We got to give them to her. She's one of the greatest. She's one of the greatest, and she's continually establishing herself. And as far as Dochi goes, she's the future, man. She's the future. I mean, the future of hip hop is in good hands with her, in great hands with her, and like her lyricism and just her overall talent, just like, the things she raps about and how eloquent she is just like it. Like I said, like to the Lottos and the Meg the Stallions, who are very lyrically gifted in their own right, rapping about their own thing. This is definitely not to take away from them because they're lyrically gifted in their own right. They're two of the best. They're two of the best lyricists from a women's standpoint we've heard in a long time as well. But Dochi is just like Champ said, the consciousness of her rap. Like it's like when you have music like hip hop, and then you have those that go out there and just rap about, the normal things, the obvious things that you see on a daily basis, the flashy things. You need the balance. You need the consciousness. For every like for every Lil Wayne, you need a Common. For every Ti, you need a Talib Kweli. You know what I'm saying? For every Lotto, you need a Dochi. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody like this to kind of balance the scales, to show you there's more to the world than just the flashiness of it. So I love it. I think it's a great thing, and I hope she can continue more success. And if y'all ain't heard her, y'all need to listen to it because the chick is one of the most talented out there. And shout out to her, she doing the thing, and I'm proud of her for doing what she's doing. So shout out to all three, man. That was just an excellent night. And like you said, PSP, that was black excellence at its finest, and us being black men doing sports content in the world of media and stuff like that. How can we not be any more prouder seeing them do their thing on the grandest stage of music? How can we not be any more proud than that? Shout out to all three of them.
For me, it's Kendrick, man. Because 10, 11 years ago, remember, no disrespect, but Malcolm Moore, when he won them Grammys, now what is everyone got to say about Kendrick now? People, stay away from Kendrick. Don't dare him in another beef. Don't. Please do not. Male or female, stay away from Kendrick. Stay away from Kendrick.
Hey, I think it's ill advised to go toe to toe with any West Coast artist because I'm gonna just be real. Whenever you talk about the West Coast, they put out you diss a West Coast artist, and they come out with some of the greatest diss songs that you ever want to have. Granted, they're not, are not like us. We haven't seen one of that magnitude that won a Grammy. But when you think about some of the greatest diss songs of all time, all of them came from the West Coast. When you think about No Vaseline, West Side Slaughterhouse, Hit 'em Up, Dre Day,
Real
you know,
Compton G's.
Real Compton G's,
I can't
and
say
give a
the
lot of
exact term. You know which term I cannot say. Rest his soul,
yeah,
Easy E.
yes indeed. Shout out to BG Knockout and Gangsta Dresta as well. Oh,
Yes.
and let's not forget, man, before Kendrick, man, look, let's give flowers to the game. 300 bars.
Yes.
So don't go, I mean, and took down G Unit at a time when they was at their hottest.
And
You
then
know what it is. Volume 3 was that deal. So, hey, if you want your, hey, I would say this: you want your career to end fast in the rap game. Go against the West Coast artists and see what happens to you.
but honestly, it was a great moment, y'all. Really big ups, especially with Beyonce, especially what she has to go through, with the thing with Jay-Z. But it was just great seeing her, Jay-Z, and their daughter there. It was just great. The rapper, I still can't forget the female rapper's name,
Doshi.
Dochi. But it was
Yeah.
great though, because again, a lot of times, like, I gotta be honest with y'all, when I listen to the rap music, no disrespect to Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, but I do want to hear a woman with conscience. You don't get that nowadays. You really don't. I mean, and I mean, I've never heard like I mean, to hear her, it's refreshing. It feels brand new. It feels like, oh, okay, this is something different. This is something unique. Because a lot of times with the female rappers like Lotto and stuff, they talk about the same thing over and over again. Nah, she's deep, conscientious, smart, sophisticated, articulate. That's something that you want to hear for once from a woman. And to hear that, I mean, that's actually dope. It's kind of like listening to Common. I love Common is one of my Common is one of the most underrated rappers to me because he is conscientious. Doesn't get enough credit. Him and Talib Kweli. So I gotta give them that.